Eminem. Hi, people.
What's up, man?
Yeah, Eminem. That's what I'm going with. What's up?
How's it going?
All right, let's do this. Ready to do it.
No problem.
Great. I was worried about that. All right. So who's going first? Who we got?
So, how's it kind of feel like just being in Games and in relation with your whole feud with Enzo going on, having a grudge match with him? Can you give a little context to the background of your history with Enzo as well, like before even getting into MLW?
So many people know that I was very close with Shad Gaspard, and when he passed away, I was very hurt. Enzo was the first person that hit me up and invited me to go to his boxing gym to train with him. And that's what I did during the pandemic, and he said he would help me. And last thing I would have thought of was him coming here and embarrassing me, you know what I mean? And in front of my dad, like my dad was here. And my dad flew from Texas to be here, to be there actually. And why does it mean a lot for it to happen here? Well, this is where I called him out. I called him out right ringside, right here in Dallas. You know, and I did it big like the Cowboys do. I did it big like Dallas does, you know, big like Texas does actually. And that's why everything, you know, all coordinates to be in for all of it to happen right here. So I'm gonna bless his ass, and this time I'm actually gonna have my head on a swivel. He ain't gonna hit me again. He ain't gonna get me from behind again.
Any inspiration behind your style?
Oh, I'm blessed, man. And I'm a Miami boy, so that should explain it. Yeah, this head to toe, very, very expensive. Don't count the watch, but everything else, it's probably costs more than the majority of the guys get paid back there. That's all I gotta say about that.
Casey, what does it mean to get a win over Enzo?
I mean, it's personal, for sure. Like I faced the best wrestlers in the world. I mean, I would say right now, I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world at my age. 22, I don't think anybody's got a resume like me. My 2021 alone would blow guys out of the water. And I'm not trying to be cocky, I'm just stating the fact. And Enzo's done a lot. He's made a lot of money. And recently, if you can't tell, I have two. And something that stuck with me was what Enzo said at Super Fight. And that was for people like even like you guys to believe in me, you gotta feel me. And I feel like if I beat him, everybody's gonna feel me. And they're gonna believe in me 10 times more than they probably already did. And Enzo was somebody I believed in, and I'm not too sure if he actually believed in me, but I'm definitely gonna make sure that after whatever happens tomorrow, that he's gonna respect me, for sure.
As far as kind of, you have such a presence, and you've gotten to show that, like not just at this press conference here, but also just like ringside during the promos and stuff like that. Where did you kind of cultivate that kind of attitude and stuff like that? Was there any inspirations outside of wrestling or historical aspect of wrestling that really got you charged up and motivated you?
I mean, the way I talk is definitely inspired by The Rock, big time. I was a big fan of The Rock. And I always was a kid that just loved to talk. I was a big talker. My favorite part of wrestling was the talking, surprisingly. I loved that part of wrestling, like connecting with the crowd that way. And I was always very good at that. And it's crazy because I'm very socially awkward. It'd be very hard to believe. I am an introvert. I don't like people. It's very weird. But, you know, when I'm in this mode and like I'm in these like clothes and I know it's business and what I gotta do, and I'll blow anybody out of the water. And that includes Enzo on the mic. I wish they would have put me one-on-one with him on the microphone, actually. I think I would have killed him. But even when I was a kid, when I was like 14, I was famous on like this app called Tower. And I used to compete with people like when I was 14. Dude, I was trending worldwide. I was the best. So yeah, I'm just a big talker.
Would you say that was a big kind of help for you starting off with like the count?
Oh yeah, man, competing with people from around the world all the time, never losing, undefeated. I had probably like 1,000,000. So yeah, I'm like the best in my age, at least. I think talking is a lost art, big time in wrestling. Like I feel like now it's all about who can hit the coolest flip, and I get it. I'm a small guy, but like I don't know if you notice, I don't really do stuff like that. Like. I did like a over-the-top dive the other day, and I looked at somebody, and they were like, dude, I haven't seen you do that in a long time. I'm like, because I don't need to. Like, I can talk, and I feel like a lot of guys like shy away from like cutting a promo or talking, and I don't mind. Like, I'm one of the guys that when they say to do these media things, I don't mind. Hey, let's do it. Because I love talking. I love doing it. So, yeah. I'm just different. I just feel like that's what makes me blessed. Like that's a talent that I got, and a lot of guys don't have.
Yeah.
How often are people surprised that you're only 22 years old?
All the time. All the time. People think that I'm 25, 24, 26. I guess it's just the way I carry myself, but I also started in this game when I was 15, so I had no choice but to grow up. And I was kicked out of wrestling school really quick. I was in wrestling school for 4 months. I was kicked out and told I wasn't humbled, I'd never make it anywhere. And I was like, oh, okay. So what you're seeing right now is a kid that was 15 with 4 months of training. That's it. I got myself here by myself. You know, I earned my way here, and it's very surprising to most people that I'm 22 because what I've done in the last 7 years isn't common. It took me 2 weeks to make my debut. And that's not common. I don't have anybody in this business. Like, I did this on my own, and that's why I feel like, that's why I say I'm blessed. Like, because a lot of kids that are my age can't say the same. Like, no, I've never been to like the WWE or anything like that. But I mean, in 2021 alone, I was on AEW, I was in Impact, I signed with MLW, I faced the best wrestlers in the world. I wrestled on the East Coast, the West Coast. I was everywhere. Like, I feel like a lot of people could touch that. And again, it's not in a cocky way, it's just a fact. Like, there wasn't anybody doing that. Like, there was a guy that wanted to book me against Brian Cage. And he was like, oh yeah, I want to bring you in, how much you want? I told him, he was like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that because I don't know you. I go, well, hey, here's my 2021. And I wrote him a message of this long. 2 minutes later, he was like, oh, what airport do you fly out of? Just like that. Because I feel like I'm slept on sometimes because I don't do all the crazy super indie bullshit that goes on. And that's the one thing that I want to prove is that just because I'm a little guy, I'm not a stereotype that I got to do 450s and 630s and all this crazy shit just to get over, you know?
Well, having the capability to do that stuff and knowing you're able to do it, what did kind of like make you kind of aware, like, I don't really need to do a whole lot of this stuff. I can pick and choose my moments. Was there something that you watched or somebody told you something or kept you?
Well, I mean, I knew I had to slow it down after I blew my knee out.
Yeah.
I partially tore my ACL and I was out for 3 months. That was a scary thing. And I didn't want to go through it. And it's funny because it wasn't on anything crazy. It was somebody landing on me that blew my knee out. But I realized that it was time for me to take initiative in what I can do. And I was talking. And I wanted to talk more. And that's when I started being heel most places. Because usually when you're a bad guy, they give you the mic more. And you never know what can happen here. I don't know. But because a lot of people are starting to hate on my looks. You know, I'm the only guy that's coming dressed up pretty nice. If you like this, wait till tomorrow. But you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Honestly, it's weird. I don't know. I'm just very different. Am I cut? Did you cut my time?
No.
Oh. So I'm getting deep here with these people. Right?
What are your long-term goals for the remainder part of your 20s?
In my 20s, I want to make $1 million. I think I can do it. Like, I truly believe I can do it. I can see myself like no later than 28, living in Miami where I want to be. 100%. I mean, I'm already looking at apartments. If I wanted to move to Miami right now, I could. Not saying I'm a millionaire, but I mean, I feel like I'm on that fast track getting there. So, you know, that's it. Be a millionaire, be an inspiration to many kids to say, hey man, you know, people may not believe in you, but if you really believe in your heart you can do something, you can do it. And I feel like right now I'm like living proof of that. So, you know, we'll see where I am in a few years. Call me back in a few years. We'll see.
Casey, in 2021, you had a great year. What does 2022 look like for you in MLW?
I look to be the middleweight champion. That's my main focus. After I knock out Enzo out of the way, I look to go straight in the title picture. I feel like I can handle the title picture, and I feel like I can handle that spotlight, and I feel like I can make that division mean something. Not saying that Myron's not doing a good job. He's a phenomenal talent. I love Myron. Myron's one of my best friends. But I feel like I can take the middleweight division into the next level. It's kind of like something I felt when I did the Super X Cup with Impact. I felt like I could take the X division and bring it to another level that it hasn't been seen in years. So yeah, middleweight division, middleweight championship. I look to make it the blessed championship. That's it.
Where do you think you found like the drive and determination at such like an early age?
Well, I was bullied really bad as a kid. My father was in the military my entire life, so just a knock at the door scared me because you never know what it's a soldier coming to say when your dad's gone. My dad was the reason why I loved wrestling, and when he left the military, I was getting ready to leave high school, and I told him like, hey, I want to be a wrestler. And he was more with it than my mom was. My mom's a big bookworm and loving school. I mean, my mom supports me. But my mom was like, I really want you to go to college. And I was like, Mom, give me 1 year. If I fail, force me to go. Because the military was going to pay for my college anyway, so we didn't have to worry about it. And it worked out. But when I was in school, I was bullied. I was always a smaller kid. You know, I was never big. As you can tell, 22, I'm like 5'6", you know, not the biggest guy. But I was bullied. I was called every name in the book. I mean, it was bad. Like, I honestly contemplated killing myself a couple times. It was that bad. But when I would watch guys like Roman Reigns and The Rock and John Cena, like, and Rey Mysterio, especially, as a guy shorter than me, like, it's like, man, if these guys can do it, why can't I? And it was one meet and greet I did with Roman Reigns in 2015, and I told him, and he was like, if you want to do it, and you believe you can do it, do it. And a year later, I came back and I saw him at a SummerSlam meet and greet, and I cried to him. And he like stopped the whole meet and greet for like 5 minutes and sat me down and everything, because he remembered the
Really?
story. He remembered my face,
Yeah.
and he remembered everything, and he was like proud. And it was after that where you hear like one of your idols saying like, I'm proud of you, and like he remembers you, like that's when I was like, I can do it. I'm gonna retire that guy at WrestleMania 52. Mark my words.
There you go.
All right, guys, good time for one more.
We got
Kind of going off that, is it crazy to be back here in Dallas 6 years after WrestleMania 32, WrestleMania weekend, same everything, but now to be a part of the festivities as part of MLW, it's got to be, I mean, at only 22, you might have been, you know, do the math, 16 years old at that point.
Yeah.
Crazy 6 years later, right?
Yeah, I was sitting, I remember watching WrestleMania 32 in my living room, like just watching it, freaking out that Zack Ryder won and Roman Reigns won. I was like, yeah. And now, tonight, it's like, well, I gotta win tonight now. It's such like a turn of events, like, it's so weird. I thought I'd be sitting home watching both WrestleManias, right? And instead, you know, I'm wrestling for TV instead. And that's a blessing. I'm grateful. And, you know, it's not the only thing I have this week. I'm wrestling all the way till Sunday. So, you know, I'm just grateful. I'm blessed. And I just look to just keep moving forward. That's it.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.